The ORTF, the French Broadcasting System, brings you light music from France with Huguette Crémy-Chauliac, Maurice Allard, Henriette Pigue-Roger, and Jacques Dieval and his Paris Jazz Quartet. The first part of this program looks back for a while to the past, but we hope you'll agree it's the living past. From it come these three pieces for harpsichord by Nicolas Geoffroy. The first is called Sarabande, with the harpsichord developing a clear melodic line for dance and music together. Keeping to the tradition of the sarabande, the composer uses a slow and gracious rhythm for this 5-beat dance for patrician ladies. The second piece, Tombeau, in German form, is more solemn and majestic, with elements recalling the Middle Ages, and the third is Courante, in an allegro rhythm with a lively and amusing style. This is an elegant and highly melodic work from the 16th century, played now by Huguette Crémy-Chauliac, and Nicolas Geoffroy's three pieces for harpsichord are presented to you now. now we leap 4 centuries forward to hear 3 pieces for bassoon and piano by 3 different composers. The first piece is called Steeplechase, and it's by André Lavagne. André Lavagne was born in 1913. At the Paris Conservatoire, he was a pupil of Roger Ducasse. Then in 1938, he won a second Grand Prix de Rome for composition. His work is hostile to false notes, as he himself says, and it's faithful to the traditional methods of the French school. Steeplechase is a characteristically clear and simple piece, an alert and amusing promenade with a witty dialogue between the bassoon and the piano. It's followed by a piece with a somewhat warmer atmosphere and more intimate tone. Carignan by Jacques Ibert. Jacques Ibert was born in 1890, and he was awarded a first Grand Prix de Rome in 1919, which began a prestigious career. He had great gifts and tried all musical forms with equal success. He's more classical in style than might at first appear. He uses a vigorous musical language, which is at the same time modern while retaining a concern for tradition, with a feeling for elegance and a taste for a well-made melody. His music's dramatic, and it's filled with local colour, as Carignan clearly demonstrates. The last piece in our trilogy today is Passe-Pied by Marcel Beach. It's directly inspired by popular dances and folklore of the Middle Ages, and reflects a joie de vivre typical of the French provinces in olden times. The central theme is alert and lively, mingling sounds of bygone days with modern rhythms, and it's highly coloured throughout. It gives the solo bassoon a great deal of opportunity for expression in several registers. The piece is also a somewhat comical one. The 3 pieces for bassoon and piano by André Lavagne, Jacques Ibert, and Marcel Beach are played by Maurice Allard, bassoon, and Henriette Pigue-Roger, piano.